Hi guys, my name is Mammoth. I'm going to show you a small tutorial today, slash guide, slash explanation video. This is a very requested thing. It's going to cover my single fire. Uh, Basically, I'm going to go over a few things. I'm going to cover what it is I'm doing, how I've done it, and as well as advantages, disadvantages, and some closing thoughts. I'll try to make this video quick. I really am terrible at tutorials. I have tried. I have no idea how many. No idea how many times I've restarted this video, try to like cover everything. But here we are. So first, I'm going to start off with a showcase of exactly my single fire method, and it's basically just up and down on my scroll wheel, and that is all I am doing. The only special thing that I've done is just added a third bind to left clicking, so and that basically allows me to use like auto. If you were to have just up and down, it would be kind of weird. So let me show you how to do this real quick. Basically, you are going to want to head down to your file explorer. You're going to want to go under local disk, where you keep your users. You want to go to users, your user, save games, respawn, Apex, and then local. And you're basically going to want to find the settings.cfg. Before you edit anything, turn off your game so the settings can apply properly. Once you've done that, you can make a save of this, save it to your desktop or some spare folder, whatever you would like to do, so you can have a backup copy in case you haven't done something right. But it is incredibly simple, so I'm trusting you. All right, so just go under properties, unset it from read only, apply, then go to edit with a text editor of your choice. I have Notepad++. You're going to want to scroll down until you find mouse button 1, which I assume that you probably already have to attack. But this right here, usually just copy it and then find mouse wheel up and mouse wheel down and then just paste it. And then you want 1, 2, and 3. And theoretically, you can add as many binds for multiple keys as you want as long as you're numbering them correctly. But with that, this is what I've done. Once you're done, make sure you save it. Then go back to your settings.cfg, go under properties, and then set it back to read only and apply. That way it doesn't get rewritten over. But once you are done with that, you should be able to go back into in-game and your mouse wheel should now be set to mine. You should be able to do this. All right, I'm going to quickly cover now the advantages of doing this and why I do this specifically. The main reason why I have done this is purely for that advantage of sound. The gun happens to just produce a very odd sound that is very distracting in a fight. Yeah, it's just meant to distract an opponent and get them off their game. If your opponent is thinking of anything else other than training the gun on you and shooting you, you have a good possibility of winning that fight, especially if you're landing good bullets. The other advantage to it would be bullet conservation. Trying to conserve more bullets as well as not having to switch between fire modes. So I mean, it's very minimal, though. It just gives you a slight control over your gun, and how you would like the gun to like operate. So you can try to pull more control off of your gun. Now, I'll talk about the disadvantages and what this does not do. This does not help you with really the recoil. If you are firing this as fast as I am still accounting for the exact same recoil pattern that is outputted by the gun. It has like an up and then kind of a question mark for the recoil. This is the same if you are auto firing it or single firing it. Bullets, the way the recoil pattern works, from what I can tell, what I've studied and kind of done my own tests on, it is based per bullet, and the more bullets you fire, the more the recoil pattern is going to stay the same. So this is not editing how the recoil pattern is going to work. You are still going to have to be able to be just naturally good at aiming. This is not going to make you an aim god or just make you shroud overnight. It takes a lot of hard work to just be good. It just takes recoil control and consistency, and there's just no other easy way to say that. All right. The other disadvantage of single firing your gun, if you're going to do this, is if there is latency, you are at a disadvantage. From my experience and how games work and how they send packets and how online games do their things, if you have a high latency, you are probably going to be missing out on bullets. Because of how many inputs you are trying to send to the server and how many it gets back to you and that whole thing, you're probably just better off just autoing. I believe you'll get way more bullets in. It Even though it is a very small percentage, in fight very skilled opponents, you're gonna lose that maybe 1 to 2 bullets, which you could have used to kill that one guy. You know, we've all been there. Um, Other than that, those are the main disadvantages. Unless you count how tiring it is to actually pull this off and do this consistently. Um, Personally, my hands get really tired from doing this a lot after a good like 8 hour session. Uh, I don't know how many, how long other people's sessions go for, but if you are doing this for a long period of time, your index fingers can be very tired. As well as it is hard to be really consistent when you are moving up and down and trying to aim in. I recommend trying to hone your sensitivity. If you are on a high sensitivity, this is probably not going to work out for you, um, because of how the mouse is moving. So if that doesn't work out for you, then I just recommend sticking to auto. It's exactly the same. It's probably not worth the advantage. Um, the last disadvantage that I would note would be scroll wheel is typically used for most of the pros for movement and b hopping. When you are doing wall bouncing as well as b hopping, they typically bind it to the scroll wheel so you can do as many jump inputs as you can. So like if you go to a wall and you just scroll, you'll hop off the wall. Or if you're doing a bunny jump slide, you'll do as many inputs to do the jump as possible. The way I've done my binds could easily be redone, in which you can actually have your spacebar and up and down on the for the jumps. So if you'd like to do that, go for it. Good for you. I just prefer to do this very niche and weird thing to mess with my minds of opponents, since I prefer not to put my time into the movement mechanics, since my main character is mostly Pathfinder. But if you're a Wraith main, I would recommend doing the actual jump binds instead, because you're way better off moving or using that kind of movement, because Pathfinder can just grapple away. Wraith has to like queue out, and movement is much more advantage to those types of characters that are stuck to the ground. As for closing thoughts on macros per se, unless they're automating multiple key presses, I think you're pretty much fine. From all the research that I've done online, it's basically a 50-50 thing, moral gray. I don't think Apex particularly cares, unless you're doing something that fundamentally breaks the way the gun functions. There have been many things in the past, such as fully automated hemlock, as recent as binds for you know, uh, auto sniper, and stuff like that. But what I've been doing is literally just tapping away the gun as quickly as possible, just so I can get people triggered. That's it. With that, that's pretty much my closing. And if you have any questions about how to do this or you have any problems, I'll read the comments. I'll try to address everything I can. I prefer to help people out. So if you need questions, help, just feel free to ask. I usually am streaming as well. You can feel free to ask there as well. So good luck winning your matches. I hope this was helpful to you, and good luck.